Hi guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we are going to discuss one of my most favorite topics, जिसके लिए मुझे बहुत सारे questions हमेशा आते रहते हैं. And the biggest and the most happiest thing about it is that I get asked about this from my clients, from my friends, from fellow business owners and so many people. And the happiest thing is how to retain your team. And I feel really proud to say that I have team members who are working with me for 3 years. I have team members who have probably went on in their life for good to try different things but have come back to ANO Media because of the work culture that we have here. So definitely for people who know me, know that my biggest vision in my life is to change the work culture in India. Sounds unreasonable and unrealistic, but I mean, what is life if you don't dream big, right? I'm actually fumbling because I'm a bit nervous to talk about this. It's the first ever time I'm publicly talking about my vision about what I want to build. It's not that I don't understand that it's difficult to change the work culture in India. I just feel like there's so much more to life and there's so many things that a person can achieve when they find a good work culture. You don't just spend 1/3 of your day. You don't just spend 8 hours in office. You spend more than that. When you're coming towards the office, you have your office in mind. When you're going back home, you still have things left in your mind. When you're going to bed, you think about, okay, what am I going to do next in the office tomorrow? And as much as you want to deny this fact, trust me, you always have work in your mind. And it's not because I'm a workaholic, so I'm saying that, but I've seen the most important people or the most lenient people also think that, okay, what am I going to do tomorrow? And it is for the people who are sorted in their life and it is for the people who are confused in their life. I think all sorts of people face this. So coming to the point of retaining the team, more than just retaining the team, I also hear people ask me that how do you find that talent? How do you get the people to you? Because we have an office in one of the most smallest places in the country. I won't say one of the most smallest places, but yeah, compared to metropolitan cities where they have offices, we have an office in Devlali camp, which is a part of Nasik, which is a part of Maharashtra. And it's a very small city. Nasik is a tier 2, tier 3 city, I assume. And Devlali is a part of Nasik. Now, people from Nasik city don't want to travel to Devlali to come work with us. Nonetheless, we have still found resources from the most randomest of places, from the gym, somebody who wants to change their career, just to come work with us. Why? Because we're working towards a common vision, we're working towards a goal, we're working towards actually making businesses profitable, and it's a very cool thing. Nonetheless, one more really good thing is that there are people who are elder to me who are working with me, and oh my god, for people who are my age, who are probably CXOs or business owners, I'm sure you all will relate to this, that if somebody who's elder to you, it's really difficult to communicate or probably make them understand or at least shout at them when they are wrong. Nonetheless, I feel like I have understood the problem over here and try to find a solution. I think it's a balance of being friendly and strict. For the longest time, I think my team members, like the management level team members also used to tell me this, that Kanishka, you do not have to be really friendly with the team. And not just this, my parents, my mentors, my counselors, or even the consultants I used to hire used to tell me that stop being so friendly with the team, stop being so lenient with them. Nonetheless, I think I spoke to a team member once and he told me that, Kanishka, isn't that what you've always wanted? Where an incident was shared with me about my team. I'll tell you all about that also. And I didn't react anything to it. And I just asked my friend, I said, is it a bad thing? And he said, isn't that what you've always wanted? When we were friends, when we used to talk about work cultures, you actually shared this vision. You should be happy because this vision is coming to life. So I'll tell you the situation and then we'll come to how to retain teams, how to hire people. We're going to cover all of these things. But I just want to share this story with you. So recently we had hired one of our friends as one of our team members because he was here for a while and he had his own set of talents. So he was a part of our team. And the same group, we all went out on a weekend. And one of my team members who he had shared the situation with said that, "Arey Kanishka ko bata na jo tu hame bata raha tha us time." And that the friend who was working with me said, "Why are you putting me in a situation like that? Kanishka ko bura lag jayega." And he said, "Nahi, tu bata, Kanishka ko acha lagega." And here's the story, okay? Here's how it goes. That friend, it was his first day and I had told him that be sharp at 9:30 to office, don't get late. And he says that I got really late. I came at 9:40 and I was very worried. I came there and I was like, there was only one person sitting in the office, that was Ghazal. And I came and I sat, I wished Ghazal good morning. And Ghazal opened her laptop and I thought probably her phone is ringing because there was a music that started playing. But then I realized there's music playing on her laptop. And she came to the office, she started playing music on her laptop, and that's how she was starting her day. He says, next Swarali walks in And Swarali directly goes in the kitchen and she asks Ghazal and she asks me, will you have coffee? And Swarali starts her day in the kitchen by making coffee for everyone. After some time, Nilesh walks in the office and Nilesh asks Ghazal, why are you playing music on the laptop? We have a speaker. And that's how they start their day. So I was kind of confused because I've worked in a corporate setting before, and suddenly coming in an office like this where everybody is actually happy to start their day. Now, I was worried a little that are they wasting time in the office? But then I thought to myself, before they go home, they complete their tasks. So why should I be afraid or offended by the fact that they're starting their work in a happy mode? Isn't that what I always wanted? So I think it's a balance about understanding what the team wants and what you want from the team. It's a mutual understanding whether the task given to them or the work allotted to them is completed or no, and whether it's my job also to handle the team and make sure that they're happy. See, I know that their happiness doesn't depend on me, or I'm not responsible for their happiness, but at least their little bit of well-being or making sure that they're okay, or some days when they're not able to perform, that is something that a leader has to take care of. So I strongly believe in this one thing where they say that you take care of the people and people take care of your business. You never take care of your business. And that is something that I live by, that I am not supposed to be taking care of my business. I'm supposed to be taking care of the people who are with me, and they will be taking care of the business. Because money आज है और कल नहीं है, कैंसिल ऐसा होना नहीं चाहिए. Money आ जाएगा, but I think it's the people you earn on your journey to where you really want to be. So when it comes to people working with me, I have been a very friendly person. And I know sometimes that really blurs the boundaries between making sure that do you have that relationship as a leader and a team. But I also know that when I'm strict or when there's a mistake or when I stand to actually question the team, they respect me. They understand that she is lenient with us, she's friendly with us. But when there is time to be strict and when it's supposed to be, the work is supposed to be done, they take things seriously too. And that cultivates when you hire the right set of people. You cannot ask a person who is lenient in their everyday task to be responsible in their workplace. A lot of your personal habits actually are shown in your workplace. So when I'm hiring, when I'm choosing the right set of people, I have the most weirdest of questions. I don't want to know your qualification. I don't want to know what you've studied. I don't want to know where you come from, whether you come from a high class family or whether you have money to survive, don't have money to survive. All of those things can be done later. I want to know, what time do you wake up? Do you make your bed? Will you be able to respond to me at 2 a.m. if there's an emergency? If one of the team members is really not feeling well and that person doesn't communicate, will you be able to feel that and be able to help them? Will you be able to take up extra responsibilities when there's work pressure? Will you be able to cater to my request when I call you on an immediate situation? And that is because I don't call my team often. So I have realized this, that when I call them, no matter where they are, they will pick the call. Because it's in a very rare situation other than Ghazal or Akshada that I will pick up my phone and call someone. I'll rather drop them a Slack message or a WhatsApp. Now, all of these things is according to me, because I have developed this work culture. It is for me because I run my company like this. Now, there are some people who are strict and it works for them. The problem is not about being strict. The problem is, are you maintaining a balance? Are you going to make sure that during your most difficult days, if it is somebody's birthday, try not to ruin their mood? Because I am of this firm belief that you need to understand how you make a person feel. Yeah, I remember this one thing that I wanted to say, that people don't remember what you paid them, or people won't remember what you got for them, but people will always remember how you made them feel. Like even the smallest of gestures. Like there was this one really big brand and we had not even started their work. There was a very small thing that happened with them and they called me on my birthday, and I told their manager, I said, listen, it's my birthday today. I know that birthday should not be such a big deal, but it is for me. It is me as a human being. And I told them, it's my birthday today. How about I solve this problem for now and address this thing tomorrow? The manager probably took it to the founder of the company, and the founder of the company calls me and starts shouting at me, and then realizes that he's being unreasonable with the way he's shouting. And he did that on my birthday, and I very politely told him, I think I can't work on this project anymore. How about we part ways? Because I feel like it was my birthday for which I had been waiting for. My team was waiting outside to have lunch with me, and they had not eaten because of the 30 minutes call that I had. And everybody on the table was just sad that day because the client was probably talking to me like that. So I genuinely like the fact that the team was feeling sad for me because they knew that we did not want Kanishka's mood to get spoiled, and they tried to cheer me up. Now that is what happens when you build the right set of team. See, you don't need to find the right set of qualifications. You need to find the right set of responsible people. There's only one thing that I tell my team. Two things actually. If somebody is not responsible, or if somebody is not speaking to you properly, or if somebody is not respecting you, fire them. And I have given every person in the team that authority to fire another person after asking me, of course, like at least consult me. You can't just randomly go on firing people. But every team member of mine knows that if they come to me with a problem statement saying that this person was disrespectful towards me, they know my reaction to it. The next situation is going to be to let that person go off the team. And that is one of the reasons we have this policy in the team that they don't come to me with complaints until and unless it is really disrespectful or necessary. But I have made sure that if anybody is being disrespectful or if anybody is being irresponsible, like I'll give you a very recent example. So one of my team members, when the work was allotted to her, she saw the work pressure for that day because we were really running less of resources. She just went overboard and she just put in a holiday when we knew that she was not even sick. Now, I was very clear that I told the team that if this is the attitude, I don't want her in the team. And the reason being that I want only responsible people. It's not like I want to overwork her. And every time when a person in my team has overworked, whatever little money I have, I've tried to incentivize the team with whatever we've done. But I know it's not about the money. And I know my team also doesn't just come running to me saying that, you know what, incentivize me or give me the money. They know how we make them feel after that person has worked really hard for something like that. When we make sure that if there is a work pressure, we will balance such days out that when there will not be some work pressure out there. So for me, I think it's the most responsible people in the team that I want, and that is why my clients really appreciate the team whenever there's a good thing, because they know that the team is always there for them. They're responsible. When it comes to retaining the team, I think having a balance of being strict with them, lenient with them, and making sure that you're friendly with them to understand their problems matters a lot. Especially for my female team members, I've told everyone that the moment you feel cranky, you don't feel like talking, and I understand that we have days in the month where we absolutely don't feel like working. Because if I can feel that, I'm pretty sure my team members can feel that too. And they know that they have the right to text whoever they are reporting to, or text me or the HR that I'm not in a good mood today. I might react in a certain way. Please try and understand. And then we tell all our team members in the team to probably treat this person with respect, treat this person with more kindness, treat this person with more happy day than it is on a usual average day. Why? Because everybody needs this. We cannot have the same days every day. So I think the only secret to retaining the team is trying to understand them where it's supposed to be, and most importantly, them understanding you and the business and the vision when it's needed to be. So one of my team members, she recently joined us after almost a year's break, and she was like, the clients are still here, the team members are still here, it feels like I never left. And I think I take that as a huge compliment that the clients who work with me for a long period of time. The team that works with me for a long period of time. And I think it's a balance of being friendly and strict at the same time to retain a team and a client, to make sure that the healthy boundaries are maintained. And it's a relationship. I cannot say that I have been the one to retain them. How can I be the one to retain them if they don't want to stay with me? I can only retain them if I make it a point to make them feel like they should be staying with me. So you can only retain a team by making them feel seen, heard, and making sure that their work is rewarded, their work is appreciated, and balancing it out for them. And finding the right set of talent, I think if you have any doubts, just add it in the comment section below. I'm going to make an entire video and an entire cohort-based thing about how can you actually find the right set of talent, how can you actually build the right team, how can you retain a team, how do you retain clients, and most importantly, high-paying clients. So I think that's it for this video. Just wanted to give you my experience. I'm not saying that this is going to work for everyone. Just wanted to give you an experience of how I've retained my clients and team for the past 3 years. And the rest you can stay on my Instagram updated about how are we celebrating with our clients when they complete like 3 years with us, 2 years with us. So yeah, before you go, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.